at 6 and only on NBC15. Today is, of course, a day to honor those who have served in the military. Right now, more than 200,000 women are serving, making up about 15%. Now, while military leaders say they look to the most qualified and capable, regardless of gender, some women say there is a double standard. NBC15's Britni McDonald sat down with 3 local veterans to talk about their biggest struggles. And warning here, this story deals with adult themes.
All I knew is that he had a lot of rank on his chest, and I did what he told me to.
During Jen Sluga's 6 years in the military, she was sexually assaulted.
I was full-on sexually assaulted, raped by a sick call doctor.
She was 18. It was just 3 weeks into basic training. Sluga is one of thousands of sexual assault victims in the military, more than 5,000 reports made last year.
So it kind of made it really, really hard for the rest of my career in the military because I never knew who I could trust or who I could really depend on.
But that was just the beginning of her problems.
Pretty shortly and pretty quickly after I had joined, I learned pretty quickly what it meant to be a female into the military.
Now, 10 years later and 4 years out of the military, Sluga sits with 2 other veterans. Gilda Maltez, who served for 21 years, half of that time as a drill sergeant, and Ann Miller, active in 2011. All in different units at different times, but all feeling the same isolation.
A lot of guys just didn't have a lot of respect for me, in my opinion.
All men are equal, men and women are equal, and you can't have that mentality in the military at all. Yeah, you just can't.
It's what they say is a culture for women in the military, one they agree limits their identity, specifically into one of 3 categories. One is a lesbian. The other 2 are listed on your screen. Too derogatory to say on air, but you can figure it out. This is the view, they say, of an aggressive woman, a friendly woman, or one simply disinterested in relationships.
The only way to keep yourself safe and to keep yourself from being filled with, rumors and building up a bad reputation is to be a horrible, cut-off, cold individual that just doesn't take shit from anybody. And so that pretty much becomes your life. That is the military.
To fit in with the guys, they say they felt the need to be one of the guys.
For women, when you join the military, you just learn to be asexual. Like, you have to learn to live without a gender.
It's this degenderized culture that they say didn't avoid prejudice, but instead skewed their identities, keeping them feeling isolated and unequal.
I was so confused and clueless.
Ultimately ending Miller's career in the military.
I had to walk away from it.
And keeping Sluga from dealing with her sexual assault for years.
There wasn't really a processing time or any services for me to go. I had some long bouts in which I wasn't doing very well at all.
And it extends beyond service.
I no longer fit in as a feminine, cute female because now I'm this cold, edged, jaded person who doesn't really fit in well with what society views of what a female should be.
I reached out to the Department of Defense at the Pentagon, where Lieutenant Commander Nathan Christensen says women are indispensable to the military. He says the department is committed to removing any gender barriers, and any kind of harassment is not tolerated.
Lieutenant Commander Christensen also says, quote, commanders and leaders at every level are required to establish a climate of dignity, respect, and trust. But these women say during their time, it was their leaders who turned a blind eye.
Certain things should not be tolerated. If the leaders tolerate any type of behavior or comments or anything like that and just look the other way, then it just perpetuates the problem.
Yeah, I'd like to see that change, but it can. It comes from the culture. It comes from the top.
In Madison, Britni McDonald, NBC15 News.
Now, even with their experiences, these women say they still love the military and the people who serve and protect us. Maltese just retired 2 years ago, and Sluga now works at the Dane County Veterans Service Office and offers military counseling. She agreed to share her story on sexual assault on camera. The women meet every month as veterans for a support group. And just a couple of weeks ago, they created a Facebook page you see right there on your screen for other veterans to join. It's called Rally Point Madison Area, and you can find information on that on our website, NBC15.com, under News Links.